Hi, welcome back for one of our decarb discourse discussions. We're at the Sedigaz annual seminar 2023. The annual meeting's going really well. The weather's been fantastic, and we're enjoying these beautiful gardens at the Maison Latin Amerique. So I'm with Anne-Sophie Corbeau, of course, former IEA, and now with Columbia University, very well-known face, one of the global authorities on gas and LNG. I would like to say so. What have you thought of the event so far? It's good to catch up with friends and see some new people.
Absolutely, yeah, it's very good. I mean, this is kind of annual event that, everybody is going to, and always nice to see, well, indeed, a lot of faces that you usually see at this event, and also a couple of new faces as well.
Yeah, all good. What did you think of your panel? That was quite lively, it was fun.
Yeah, no, that was fun, and indeed, I mean, we had a completely different background, I mean, I am obviously from the academia, we have also somebody who is more from the upstream, somebody who's more from the trading side, so contrasting the views and also different geographical backgrounds was particularly interesting.
And in summary, that reliance on LNG that we've seen really comes to the forefront in Europe, globally. Is it a saviour? In a nutshell, would you see LNG as a saviour for global energy balance over the next 2 to 3 years in the immediate term?
Well, I mean, it definitely saved Europe at the expense of other people. Now, I mean, over the next 2 years, I mean, what we know is that there is not going to be that much in terms of new LNG export capacity. I mean, the additions are pretty limited. So we will see things arriving by the end of 2024. Definitely 2025.
Yeah.
The question is, what is the real exact timing of all these additions? And this is probably the question that everybody is asking himself.
And the European Commission have thrown themselves at LNG.
Oh yes, they love LNG. I mean, LNG has been, the solution. I mean, when you remember the REPowerEU strategy and the first target, plus 50 BCM. Wow. Okay, we got them. I am quite surprised that we got them. Indeed, I mean, 20 BCM coming because China reduced its LNG demand, but we managed to attract all this LNG at a cost. I mean, we have paid a very high price, especially this period, July, August, which became completely crazy with everybody rushing in order to replace Nord Stream, because that was a big surprise, right?
And we've had the commission here this morning, which was excellent. I mean, it was very good to get the views from the Deputy Director General. I'm going to give you an opportunity, Anne-Sophie. Let's pretend you're Kadri Simpson for the day. What do you do? What do you do as Commissioner with all that power? What's the first thing you do in terms of energy realignment or strategy? What would you like to change, or what would you like to see?
I think I need to get a better understanding about what's really happening, on the ground, because we discussed, this fact that industry gas demand has been disappearing, but I want to understand and to get to the bottom of that, because, it's all very good to say. And I have heard some politicians saying, it's great, our gas demand in industry has dropped by, say, 40%. I would actually be quite worried. What is happening on the ground? What is going to be the impact for, these factories? Are they going to close down? And this is exactly what we were discussing during our panel.
That's correct.
So I think, I should be more worried. And also, I mean, I would stop with the REPowerEU, etc., and I would try to have a better understanding about what we can really achieve rather than having pie-in-the-sky targets. Because nobody believes in the REPowerEU. But then you have a certain number of people who are saying, oh, but I mean, these are the REPowerEU targets. So they are fixed. Actually, they are not binding. We are going to reach them. I don't think so for some of them. And therefore, you need to basically manage expectations. But there is so much danger that we are getting it completely wrong that I think, in my opinion, this is actually totally misleading. So I think, politicians should be accountable for the targets that they're fixing. Unfortunately, the European Commissioner is going to disappear next year. She's probably going to find a new job, and therefore will not be accountable for all these targets, which I think is totally regrettable. Yeah. Because, 4-year job, I go, I find, a very nice job in the consulting department or something like that, high-paying job, and then off we go. But no, I mean, it's actually quite serious, and we have paid, we have spent so much money trying to protect a certain number of consumers from the effect of very high prices. And this is also something that I think is missing in a certain number of governments, and governments recognize that themselves, is that they don't know how to protect specifically the poorest of the consumers, rather than doing a blanket measure like we have done in France, you are going to increase only the power tariff by 15%, but then somebody who is wealthy doesn't care, so they are just going to happily consume even more energy than before because there is hot weather and blah, blah, blah. So this is actually bad. We need to have measures which are targeted to the poorest consumers, which are gradual, and those who are really wealthy. So they pay the full price of energy, and if they can actually reduce their energy consumption, even better.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should make you commissioner for the next 4 years.
Oh my God!
Have you ever thought about running?
No, I don't think I would have.
Political career beckons.
Political. I am so honest and I'm so blunt in my comments that my longevity as a commissioner will be a couple of months at best.
Yes.
And I think with the country on the other side of the river, there will be probably some conflict.
Yeah, right.
Because if there is one thing that I find completely crazy is that Germany closed the 3 nuclear power plants,
Yes.
and found very good reasons to, well, actually just ideology. And this is completely stupid because at the end of the day, this is 6 BCM of gas equivalent annual demand. And then we have Mr. Habeck who is complaining that, oh my God, the disruption of the Russian-Ukraine transit agreement at the end of 2024 is going to remove 12 BCM from the equation. Well, if you had not closed the nuclear power plants, my dear Minister, you would have saved 6 BCM. So that's half of the number. Right?
Yes. Short-termism rules.
No, it's ideology 101.
Yeah, absolutely.
And me first and the rest after me.
Anne-Sophie, thank you so much indeed for your time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Pleasure.